welcome to Live in the Solution. I'm your astrologer and tarot card reader, Mary Trimble, here with your readings for January the 6th through January the 12th. And what a celestial sky we have this week. Wow, major. But I'll get into that in the astrology report. Right now, we're on the intro, and I want to thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys. And I hope that you enjoy these readings and that you will return. These are general readings and they're for the collective, so take what resonates, leave the rest. If you'd like a personal reading, click on this link, which will take you to my website, and you can see what readings I offer. I live to give readings, guys. Now, this is for your sun, moon, and rising. Don't forget that. There will be skip times for the intro, the astrology report, and the tarot card reading if you are checking out your sun, moon, and rising. All the other links and everything will be in the show more section below, so you can always check below in the description box and click on any of the links in there. You know, if you want to look at the other readings, or it takes me a minute sometimes to get the links up, you know, but once everything's up, then I put the links up. Please help me by liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing if you haven't already. And now, without further ado, let's get to the astrology report, shall we? Hello and welcome to the astrology report section of your reading. And first, I just can't go without mentioning and putting my heart out there for Australia and all those fires. And, you know, I can't spend too much time on that because I get very emotional, but I'm praying for them. And I just, if anyone's watching from Australia, my God, my heart goes out to you. I'm so sorry. And maybe this is what I don't want to say this is what we need, to take this. Maybe governments around the world will hear this and take some action and towards climate control and perhaps people will stop denying that there's a climate crisis. Anyway, I have to move on from that. I get very emotional with that. It's very, very sad. All the animals and anyway. The year 2020 will not be easy. If you are one of my Patreons or one of my patrons, you can check out my Patreon page, guys. I am going to do a yearly forecast for those for those patrons by sign, and I'm working on that. And it is challenging. For most of us, will be affected, especially those in cardinal signs. Cancer. excuse me. Cancer, Capricorn, Libra, and Aries. We will be most affected by this huge astrological event coming up. But let me go on to Thursday, January the 10th, the full moon lunar eclipse in Cancer at 20 degrees. At 2:21 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Full moons, as most of you know, is when the moon is opposite the sun, and it's actually the sun is lighting up the moon. It's full on. It's exactly opposite, right? So their energies are melding, right? They're almost married, if you will, because it's kind of a seesaw effect. But not only is the moon opposite the sun at this time, it's also opposite Mercury, Pluto, and Saturn, and the South Node. So I can't help but mention in Capricorn, there's Jupiter, the Sun, Mercury, the South Node, Pluto, and Saturn. And 2 centaurs are also in there. And there's never been that many planets in Capricorn. I think it's been 735 years, according to Pam Gregory. It's 735 years. I haven't checked it in the ephemeris, but I believe her because she does a lot of research. And she does mundane, which is all about, government and the world. I do more personal, so I do appreciate her knowledge on that. Okay, so this is the okay, so the moon in Cancer is going to be all about kind of family, relationships, it's emotional, it's about home. Um, and Capricorn, which is opposite, is all about the government and kind of authority and really about career and work and things like that. So it's about that balance. It's about those opposing energies. And this, look, full moons are about releasing, letting go, right? Ending, culminations. Um, and eclipses are even more about that. So eclipses can kind of bring something to the forefront that's like secrets are revealed, things, realizations are coming into play, and this is about clearing things out. It's about um, trimming the fat, streamlining. What do you need as opposed to what do you want? It's really about streamlining. It's about not having more than you need. That's what it's about. It's clearing things out. It is organizing. It is getting rid of sometimes people, places, things, whatever isn't serving you anymore or that, doesn't align with you anymore, because we outgrow friendships and relationships sometimes. Sometimes we stay in them well past their expiration date. And we need to kind of look at that. Things may come to a head where we'll see that and we'll see that we need to move on. It's those of us who are more self-aware and want to grow and move forward in this on this journey, we'll see what we need to let go of. So change is inevitable. This is about change. Neptune is it's in a trine to the eclipse. Our intuition and psychic abilities are heightened, and our sensitivity to other people's energies are also heightened. We can feel their moods, we can feel their energies. And, if you're surrounded by toxic people, that's toxic. It's going to affect you personally. So you want to, surround yourself or protect yourself and not get too tuned in. If you find yourself tuning into somebody who's like raging or depressed or, in a terrible mood, don't take it personally. Retreat from their energy. So, a lot of emotions can be brought up. It's a very emotional time. Well, some of us are feeling it now. Also, on Thursday, January the 10th, Uranus stations direct. Now, it has been retrograde since August the 12th, 2019. So that's 5 months. And it will station direct now. It's been slowing down. Now, this Uranus is the planet of electrifying sudden changes and happenings. Uranus rules electricity. It's like lightning and thunder. And it's the higher octave of Mercury. It's about fast thinking, sudden happenings. And as it slows down to go direct, its symbolism amplifies. So, electronics could go awry. I've been having that. I mean, I've had a lot of technical issues the last week or so. So I know that this has been happening to me. So that will bring an element of the unknown into the mix on Thursday as well, and actually before and after. They say eclipses last up until 6 months, but so look, this brings me to our huge astrological event that astrologers have been talking about for years. That is Saturn conjunct Pluto in Capricorn. Now, as I mentioned before, we have Jupiter, the Sun, the South Node, Mercury, Pluto, and Saturn all in Capricorn, plus two centaurs, Plutos and Chariklo. But I'm not going to get into them. That's a whole other video. But anyway, there's not been that many planets in Capricorn for 735 years. That's a long time. This is huge. It's massive. There's massive change. People who will be affected by this are those in cardinal signs particularly, and that is Aries, Cancer, Libra, and of course Capricorn, where it's all happening. So they are the ones who are most affected by this. But of course, depending on where your planets are, so many of us are. This is because it's all in Capricorn, it's global too. We're already seeing changes happening. We're already seeing politics and catastrophes happen around the world, because Saturn is about rules and regulations and the old order, right? He's like the father figure. And Pluto is about breaking the old systems down so that new systems can replace. So it's about destruction, it's death and rebirth, right? Well, the destruction part is kind of, it's stressful for us. And we're seeing that in Australia. We're seeing it, Iran, #2 guy being taken out. I mean, and things are definitely going to progress exponentially. Look, I can't help it. It's kind of a pessimistic view, but when I look at the astrology, it is disturbing, to say the least. The good thing is, though, that yes, there's destruction, yes, but what will come out of this is a new world order. Things will change. I mean, irrevocably change. And I think after the beginning of 2021, it's kind of peaceful for a while. But I'm not going to go into that. This is a very deep and very intense time, and time will tell as to how this will play out. Many of you are already feeling this change and transformation, and things are coming up. Pluto brings stuff up from the dark, out of the darkness into the light to be addressed. Secrets come out. Governments, we've already been seeing that. You see, we feel this before, and we'll be feeling it for the whole of 2020, not to mention other things that are going on later in the year. So what I will say, yes, all these old structures and paradigms will be restructured. They'll be brought down. And, I mean, I'm going into this in a lot more depth on my Patreon page. I'm going to be creating videos for the year for the signs. So I am currently working on those and I've been studying this for a while, and I've been really looking at what's going on for each sign and how they are affected. But I will say this in general, this is all like outward energy, because in Capricorn it's all yang energy, it's male energy, it's going out, it's explosive. And that's the same with Uranus. It's been in retrograde, so it's kind of within and going, when a planet goes retrograde, it kind of goes in, right? So we need to bring the yin energy out, and the way to do the yin, the way to balance this with yin energy is to go within. Going within, we can quieten our mind. We don't have to be frightened. When we are at peace within, then we experience peace without, and we can hear ideas and solutions to what we think is our problems are. We need to be bigger than our problems, is what we need to be. And we can do that by going inside. So meditation is so important, and that'll bring us into the yin within, right? The yin within. We need to connect with a divine feminine. We need to be receptive and not pushing out, because this is all pushing out, right? This is all male yang energy. So we need to get in touch with the yin. We need to be the calm within the storm. And we'll get through this, darling. We'll get through this together. Let's go to your tarot card reading, shall we? Hello, Aquarius, and welcome to the tarot card section of your reading for January the 6th through January the 12th. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Aquarius for January the 6th through the 12th. Aquarius, Aquarius. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. And it really is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. 3 cards for Aquarius, please. 2 more cards for Aquarius, please. There's one. 1 more card for Aquarius. There we go. Oh, and you got 2. Everybody got more than 3. Well, not everyone. Most. Alrighty then. There is crossover, guys. So check out your sun, moon, and rising. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Somebody begged me to stop singing last week, said it was painful. And my response was, I'm sorry, it's in my nature. I can't. Said there are plenty of astrologers and tarot cards readers that don't sing. In fact, most of them don't. I don't know any other. Maybe there must be some. I just can't help myself. What can I say? These are clarifying cards for Aquarius. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Aquarius through these clarifying cards for January the 6th through the 12th? Please clarify the... Oh, I thought it was another card. Please clarify. Huh. Please clarify the... There it is. Please clarify the 2... Oh, there we go. Oh, very, very interesting. Very interesting. Aquarius, my lovely Aquarians. Here we go. Take a look at your cards. The first card out is the 2 of Wands, clarified by the 9 of Swords. Then you have the 4 of Wands, clarified by the 9 of Pentacles. Then you have the 2 of Swords, clarified by the 10 of Swords. Sorry, not clarified, together with the 10 of Swords. Followed by the World, clarified by the World. Okay, now the first card out is the 2 of Wands. So the 2 of Wands, this is like a decision. It's almost like you have to decide and plan where you want to go. It's like the world is your oyster. You've got this choice of, you know, where to go. The whole world is out there, and this is about where are you going to go? Which direction are you going? It's like you have this opportunity to go wherever you want, and it's all for... I don't feel that this is I don't feel that there's a bad choice here, but I do feel that you're struggling making this choice. And I say that you have the 9 of Swords here. So you're at the precipice of making this choice, and you are playing through your head the worst case scenario of each choice, which is just a waste of energy. And try to put it in this terms, because this is like sleepless nights, and this is fantasy in your head. You know, listen, the past is a dream, the future is fantasy, and right now is a gift, and that's why we call it the present. This is about coming into the present moment and think about this decision. Think about the advantages of each of your choice, of each option. Think about the advantages. Don't think about what can go wrong, because anybody, you know, I mean, who knows? That really is fantasy. But think tangibly about how you will benefit from making each choice. Keep it in the solution and in the positivity. because I feel that there's a lot of angst over this decision, whatever this decision is. Maybe it's whether to go away or not. Should you leave? Shouldn't you? It might be that. Now, the next card out is the Four of Wands. And this is like celebrating. It's like something is coming to a culmination, which is very, the eclipse, the full moon, it's about culmination. And it's cause for celebration. And you want to celebrate with loved ones, with that connection, with family, This could even kind of, be connecting with family. And that's interesting because you've got the family, right, and a lovely foundation, which, the Cancer represents the number 4 and the home. This is all about family. That's your foundation, your roots, right? And then you've got the 9 of Pentacles, which is about, opulence and about work. She has worked hard. She has created all this wealth. But guess what? She's out there alone. She seems far away from her home in the background. So there's a cost to not spending enough time at home. There's balance here, Aquarius. You really need to balance work or ambition, whatever it is that's taking you away from home. You have to balance it. Maybe that's your angst about leaving, perhaps going on a trip. It could be a business trip or something, and you're worried about, leaving home behind. Perhaps you're feeling some kind of guilt there, and thinking of the worst case scenario. Maybe you need to move homes or jobs, whatever it is that's causing you angst. But this is definitely, the pull push of the full moon and the eclipse. There's that opposition. So you have to find a balance. You've got to meet in the middle. You've got to, this person has just put so much. Yes, she's rich. She's got everything that she needs. She's made her fortune. She's almost at the finish line, right? But she's done it through work and through ignoring home. So what is it that's taking you away from your home and your base and your loved ones? Your children, your parents, your siblings, whatever it is for you, your lover, your husband, your wife, whatever. You have to ask yourself that. And here we are. You've got, this is interesting, right? The Two of Swords. You're not making a decision. Whatever this decision is, the refusal to make it, and it's funny because the moon is in the background in here. The refusal to make it, it's like you're not seeing the truth in a situation, or you're either unable or refusing to see the truth in the situation, Aquarius. And you're reticent about making this decision, and it's causing confusion. And what's really interesting, perhaps what's stopping you from making this decision, maybe it's a commitment to somebody. I don't know. It could be a commitment that you're a little reticent about making to someone. It could be that. But it could be a commitment to a job, or, it could be a commitment to, moving home, whatever it is for you. You can interpret it however way it works for you. But this is, this is betrayal and pain and suffering from the past. And so you've got you're scared almost of making this decision because of past hurt and past betrayal. It's like, look, this is like the 10 of Swords being stabbed in the back. The good news is when the 10 of Swords comes into a reading, it means that's the end of that suffering. So it's time to let it go. Let that suffering go. Make the decision one way or another. It doesn't matter if you commit or you don't, but it's about letting that go. Letting the pain, moving on from that pain and betrayal. And I don't even need to tell you, you're at a point where you're ready to move on. You're tired. 10s are endings and beginnings, right? 1 and 0 is 10, but also 1 plus 0 is 1. It's new beginnings. And maybe, it's causing you angst, this thing. You've got to commit one way or another. Make the decision because it's causing more turmoil. And once you make the decision, there's calmer waters. There's less challenges when you take the blindfold off and you see See the truth, darling. You need to see the truth. And look, clarifying it is the world. And the world is all about, listen, you've got all this life experience. Learn from it. You can do the same, make the same mistakes. You can make the same decisions. And guess what? You're going to end up in the same place. This comes in when it's time to make that change, Aquarius. It's time to do things differently. Because you really, the universe will support you. God will support you in making that change. Doors will open for you when you decide to make that change. Sometimes this is like choosing your life purpose as well. This is, this can be, taking action. Look, this is like inaction, not doing anything, right? Because you've been stuck in this pain. And this is about taking action and doing something differently. Don't live in the pain body, as Eckhart Tolle would say. Look that up, A New Earth Awakening, The Power of Now. Don't recreate it. Make different choices. If you want a different life, you've got to make different choices, right? Make different choices. Now's the time. The universe will support you. Aquarius, Aquarius. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate you. Please don't forget to like this video, share it, and if you haven't, and comment. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Mwah! I love you all, and I'll see you next week. Thank you for staying all the way to the end. I really appreciate that. And I just wanted to let you know that this is a viewer supported channel. So if you could check out my Patreon page and perhaps, donate a one-time donation or, $1 a month, as little as $1 a month. It's $12 a year. It's not a lot, but I can do a lot with that. And of course, no pressure, just like, share, comment, and subscribe if that's what you can do. I really appreciate that too. And also my videos have advertising on it. And, if you could watch the advertisement all the way through, that would be a big help. I get paid for that too. I mean, every little helps. And of course, more than anything, if you can, purchase a reading from me, because that's what I love to do. But anyway, guys, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here all the way to the end. And don't forget to join my Facebook group so we can hang out there. I love you all. Thank you. Mwah. I'll see you next week.